Hey guys, am I on? Yes, no? Yeah, there we go. How y'all doing? All right, so for those of you that don't know me, I'm Carter. I just graduated from Hanahan, but yeah. um, yeah. If you so, I'm just gonna share my testimony real quick, if that's okay. Okay. All right. So, I'm from Spartanburg, South Carolina. I moved here when I was about 3, and moved to Somerville, then moved to Hanahan, and then been there ever since. Um, I have some people here with me. I have my sister right there. I have her boyfriend Paul. I have my granddad. That's Gramps. I have my aunt and uncle, and my parents, then Hunter and his lady. All right, so I was raised in church. My dad was youth pastor for about 25 years, and my mom was a children's minister at that church. Um, every Sunday, you would see all of my family in church. So, wow. Yeah, I was baptized when I was 8 years old. My mom came up to me and was like, "Hey, you want to be baptized?" And I was like, "Sure," but I didn't really know what it meant, so I just did it because I was the pastor's kid. Just want to make him look a little bit better. Um, and I think I was about like 10, and Matthew 5:16 was my favorite verse. If you want to throw it up on the screen. Yeah, it is. All right, so. 16. In the same way, let your light shine before others so that they may see your good works and give glory to the Father who is in heaven. Wow. I don't really know why I chose that verse. I was in church one Sunday with my friend, and I was like, hey, I like that verse. That's my new favorite one. But, like I said, every Sunday my family was in church, so I always had that good home, and nothing ever really went bad. And in 7th grade, so fast forward a couple years, 7th grade was probably one of the most hardest and emotional years I've had in my life. It all started off a regular year, and then in April, I was at my friend's birthday party. My brother was at prom, and I could see that my friend's emotions had changed drastically. So I was like, "What's going on?" They're like, "Nothing, it's fine." I was like, "All right." So we were at Sky Zone, then get back to his house, and then his dad was like, "Hey, your mom said to call her." I was like, "All right." I called her. She's crying. Don't know why. So I start crying because I cry a lot. And she was like, "Grandma just died." And that was my grandma who had Alzheimer's ever since I can remember. And I'll probably start crying, so bear with me. So I just found out my grandma just died at a birthday party. It sucks. So at that moment, I decided to just turn and run from God, because why would I want to follow a God that took my best friend out of this world? I don't want to follow someone that causes pain in my life. So I just started running, and then next year in 8th grade, I'm still running full sprint, and then I went to Gauntlet because my friend was like, "Hey, come to Gauntlet with me." I was like, "I don't have $400. But he's like, "Just come." I was like, "All right." So I went, and the group that I was with, and for those of y'all that don't know what Gauntlet is, it's New Springs version of Somersault down in Daytona with 6,000 people there. It's too many people for me. But the group I was with, it was everybody's first year there, so none of us knew what we were doing. None of us knew who each other were. And then the first night, don't remember anything from it, but he was just like, "Stand up, you want to be called if you want to get saved." I was like, "Okay, I'll stand up." So I stood up just to make some more friends, get some people to look at me. And then the leader that I met 4 hours ago was like, "Dude, I've been waiting for this my whole life." I was like, "I don't know you." It's like, "I met you 4 hours ago. You live in Spartanburg. I live in Charleston. How have you been waiting for this?" But I got baptized there as well. Don't know why. It was really cold. But yeah, that was just about 8th grade year. To sum it up, I'm just full sprint running away from God because I don't want to follow someone that'll take my grandma away from me. And then freshman year comes, high school, excited, yay. No, high school sucks. It was my brother's senior year, and he was on the baseball team, so people knew who he was. So I was like, I want to hang out with him as much as I can. So I go up to the head baseball coach, and I was like, hey, can I help out this year? He was like, I don't care. So I was with Hunter just about every day, every practice, every single game. Weekends, Hunter hung out with his group of friends. I hung out with mine, and I was just like, I'm bored. So I started hanging out with Hunter. We didn't really like the same stuff, so I would just go with him. I would go to parties. I would go out and drink with him, and I thought I had to do that just because it was his last year, but I didn't need to because that's not the kind of person he is. But I never told him that, so this is the first time he's ever heard that. So there you go. Yeah, I wanted to spend as much time with him because he's going to go up to Spartanburg Methodist to play baseball 3 hours away from me. I can't drive, so I was like, I'll just hang out with him whenever I can. So I did that, and then just about every weekend we were at a different party, different house, and then move him in that summer. And then sophomore year comes, I'm by myself. I don't have my brother there looking out for me. And then, so I started hanging out with some of his friends that had just become seniors. So it was like I didn't have any other friends, so I would just go out with them every weekend and just go drink with them. Fun. And then February 5th came. It was a Sunday. Pastor Will was speaking. He was here, and we were at Goose Creek campus. And the only thing I remember from this sermon was Will said, I was the captain of my own ship, and something had to change. And those words have stuck with me ever since that day. I was sitting there during worship, and I started praying, and he was like, I've been here the entire time, you're the one that's been running from me. I was like, you're right. So I stood up, my dad's over to the side, and then I go over to him, and I just hug him. He's like, are you okay? I was like, not really. He was like, why not? I was like, I want to give my life to Christ. And he just looked at me, and I've never felt more love for my dad in that moment. Just bear hug for 10 minutes. That's up front. That's a long time. Got saved that day, signed up to be baptized, and my dad was baptizing me, and was every time I looked up at him, he would just turn my head away, and then so he wouldn't start crying. So anyway, he got done, I get up, then this happens. Do you have the picture? There it is. So, yeah, my dad's not a small person, but I make him look small in that picture. But yeah, get baptized, completely new life, start dating this girl. Her name's Maddie. She's right there. I never cared about school. It was the last thing on my mind. I failed 3 of my 4 core classes freshman year. Quality. And then, so basically, I was failing about half the classes when I met Maddie. So she made me do my homework. I still kind of hate her for that. But yeah, she made me do my homework. She made me study, even though I never studied, honestly. But made me do my quiet time. I got closer to God whenever I first started dating her, even though I'd known her for a year or so before we started dating. Yeah. And I honestly just never thought that since I ran from God, that God would put someone like that in my life just because of like who I was. Hey, cut it out. And then that summer, it was June 21st. Yeah, am I on? All right. June 21st at Somersault, Somersault 2017. Yeah. It was that Wednesday night, I felt called to go overseas. I was like, I don't want to fly. So I was like, nah, fam. And just went on with my daily life. Same thing, just do my quiet time every night. And then junior year, small groups, I had Joe and Zach as my leaders. And then they had to step down. So then I got Ryan and Jason. And they mean more to me than they know. They've taught me so much. And I'll just never be able to say thank you for that. But one day, we were just talking about how to combat people trying to have a conversation with atheists, trying to have a conversation with us. We're oh, it's you read the Bible, don't you know everything? And Jason was just Deuteronomy 29:29. If you want to throw that on the screen, I will. It says, the secret things belong to the Lord our God, but the things that are revealed belong to us and our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law. So me and Jason were talking about it after, and then he was what I get from it is, no matter who we are or what we do, we're never going to know everything there is to know about God. I'm like, you're right. So raise your hand if you know who Billy Graham is. Wow, that's a lot more people than I thought. Anyway, Dad was telling me a story about him, and if y'all don't know him, he is one of the biggest evangelists of my lifetime. He's having hip replacement? He was having a hip replacement, and he was really old, so he could have died from it just because he was really old. So the surgery went good, everything went good. He wakes up, and the first he doesn't say, hey, where's my family? Where's so-and-so? He's get me my Bible and my journal. And I'm just if I had a hip replacement, I wouldn't say that. But that has always stuck with me because if Billy Graham didn't know everything there is to know about God, and I never will. No matter how much I study, if I read the Bible front to back every single day, I'm never going to learn that much. But, yeah. Somersault 2018, if y'all know Somersault, it's super important to me. So Somersault 2018, still ignoring the call to ministry, and it was that Wednesday night again, because Wednesday night is they're called a ministry night. So Somersault 2018, Wednesday night, it was during worship. I'm singing, having all that fun stuff. And then everything goes dark, and I stop hearing stuff, and I was what is going on with me? Then I hear God say, stop ignoring it, it's what I want you to do. I was but I don't want to go overseas. But then I realized he wasn't calling me overseas at that moment. He was calling me to be a youth pastor. And if y'all know me, I'm really stubborn. Probably not as stubborn as Sarah, but but I love cars. I love working on cars whenever I can. And I wanted to be a mechanic and not a youth pastor. But knowing that God wanted me, even though I was the freshman that went out, partied, drank, did all sorts of things, why would he want me to be a youth pastor? But he wanted me individually to be here right now sharing my testimony. The senior year comes, into junior year, I passed all my classes, thanks to Maddie. But senior year, trying to go to college and all that stuff, my dad went to North Greenville University, and I always wanted to go there just because I love the atmosphere. I love how close it is to my grandparents and aunt and uncle. So I was I want to go to North Greenville, right off, go there all 4 years. But someone was talking to me like, why don't you just go to Trident for 2 years and then transfer? And it's like, I don't know. Let me think about it. The guy made it really easy because I didn't get into North Greenville because I messed around all of high school. Don't do that, guys. That's not a good idea. But yeah, didn't get into North Greenville, so I'll just go to Trident and then transfer after 2 years. So that's what I'm doing now, and I start classes in like a week or so. I think it's like the 26th. Get fun, more school. But this past summer, I had one of the greatest opportunities that I've had in my life. I was an intern through Journey, and I learned so much through that. I worked under Justin, learned how he ran JSM. Still don't know how he does it by himself. It's very hard. Worked under Justin, learned how he runs JSM, and I know 2 ways a youth group can be run from Justin and my dad. And there's an intern opportunity coming up that I may or may not apply for. It's through Aldersgate Methodist. It's where my sister works. So, yeah. Yeah. So that's basically my life right there. If y'all don't take anything away from this, just take this one thing, that don't think you're not good enough for God just because it's what your mind thinks. If you think you're not good enough, you're wrong. If you want a relationship with Him, talk to someone tonight. Talk to me. Talk to any leader in here. Just make that best decision tonight, guys. Let's pray. God, thank you for this day. Thank you for letting Justin have me up here. And God, I just hope one person in this room heard me tonight. And I hope everyone has a great rest of the week. In your name I pray. Amen.